Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2015 Bridgewater's Finest Movie Awards, presented in conjunction with MediaDetour.com. We're going to move into our genre awards now, and what we're going to be doing in this video is each of us are going to be giving away our best action, drama, comedy, and fantasy/sci-fi movie of 2015. We're going to kick off the action, literally. Best action movie of 2015. I'm going to get us kicked off here. My number one best action movie of 2015 was Mad Max Fury Road, directed by George Miller. Mad Max enters the 21st century, and furious indeed. I remember when I watched this movie, I honestly, and I think I saw this in theaters twice, but I'm not sure. I know it was certainly once, but I can't remember if I saw it a second time. I remember thinking, I have no idea what just happened. Like, what in the world was this? Because it's been so long since I've watched any of the other Mad Max movies. I think I've watched them all, but it's been so long that it's like I kind of got disacquainted with the universe and everything like that. And I watched it and I'm just like, oh my God, like, but I think the movie intentionally does that to you. And I'll talk about this again probably a little bit later. Spoilers. But like, I think the movie intentionally kind of messes with you so that it's intentionally trying to distract you from what's going on with all the noise and pomp and circumstance. And it's kind of intentionally messing with you in that way, but it's messing with you in a good way. All the adjectives that were being thrown around, like bombastic and insane and crazy and thrilling and frenetic, and all these adjectives that were being thrown around about the movie, they were all like painstakingly perfect. Like they described the movie so bluntly but so perfectly that it's like, unfortunately, it's one of those movies where I find very little to say about it. You can almost tell I'm kind of babbling because it's just like it feels so perfect, and everything about it feels so self-evident. And it's one of those movies where it's like, the best thing I can say about this movie is if you haven't seen this movie, you need to see Mad Max Fury Road. So Mad Max Fury Road, definitely my best action movie of 2015.
Mad Max is fantastic. I'm going to be real. Mm-hmm. I know this obviously will show up in other ways later for both of us.
Yeah. This is almost a spoiler video because like these movies are going to show up.
Yeah, because if they're the best of the genre, chances are
they're going to get there somewhere.
So I'm not going to say too much. I'm not even going to talk about that movie now. I'm going to lay it down. To be honest, other Mad Max movies, not that great. They're okay.
Yeah.
They're all right. I'm not in love with them. That's right. I'm not even going to talk about Fury Road. Besides, I quite enjoyed it.
Right on.
Okay, best action film. Yes. Kingsman.
Yeah.
I'm gonna even go so far as to say it's probably my favorite action movie ever.
Wow.
It beats Die Hard. That's no disrespect to Die Hard.
No, fair enough.
That's speaking of the quality of Kingsman, and Kingsman is nuts and stylish and funny. You know, like it's over the top, and it does it so well, and it's so engaging, and that church scene is phenomenal.
It is really, really
Even though he's just basically killing nobodies, it's still fantastic. And the way they fuck with you afterwards, where he just walks out after he's done all that, and they're just like, boom,
yeah, fuck you, boom, exactly.
So disheartening.
Matthew Vaughn is like, we need to be talking more about Matthew Vaughn. Because, like, and I'll probably mention this again later, but, like, the last 3 movies that Matthew Vaughn has done have all been home runs. So I mean,
he's great.
We need to start talking more about Matthew Vaughn, and he's done some screenplays for stuff too, and the screenplays and production has been really good too. So we need to start talking more about Matthew Vaughn. Anyways. Yeah, Kingsman. It took me and you know this too. It took me 2 watches. I appreciated it the first time. I appreciated it more after the second one. It took me 2 watches to get to the understanding that like this was an elite movie this year.
Yeah, I came out of it just like, that's
that's the jam.
Even though I never went to see it a second time, I very much could have.
Yeah.
Fantastic action, and it's hilarious at the same time.
It is.
Could possibly be one of the funniest movies of the year while also having the most like kick-assery of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know what? We're going to end up talking about Kingsman more in a later video, so we'll move on from there. So those are our 2 best action movies of the year. And next up is going to be the best drama of 2015.
Drama!
I'll let you lead it off, sir.
All right. So here's mine. And as he knows, I'm a little weird with genres. I find the genre awards a little more difficult.
Yeah.
And I kind of have a hard time placing them because so many movies have like multiple genres.
Mm-hmm. We kind of shoot for what's the primary genre, trying to establish what the primary genre of a movie is, which is a lot more difficult nowadays when movies aren't just trying to be one thing.
And this one, this one is so deserving of the place, but I'm not sure, judging from like those
disqualifications,
that criteria, I'm not sure if it should be where it is. Anyway, my best drama is Creed. It's like a sports movie though, but then there's a lot of drama, so I went with it as drama, but no, I feel uneasy. I can buy
that. I can buy that because Creed, like most of the Rocky movies, boxing is the subtext.
Yeah.
Of the Rocky movies. Yeah, they're boxing movies about a boxer having boxing fights.
And there's a lot of boxing in it.
Yes.
A lot of training and
absolutely.
Yada, yada.
But it's like it's always the Rocky movies are always, and that's why anyone that hasn't watched the Rocky movies, you're hurting yourselves cinematically by not watching these fucking movies. Like they're boxing movies, but boxing is absolutely second fiddle to the characters and to the city of Philadelphia, and like they're dramas. They're dramas with a sports subtext. I totally buy that as the best drama of the year.
I mean, this shows up later. I know you people don't know me, but it's no surprise to anybody who knows me that a Rocky movie, even if it's a spin-off and not even directed by Stallone, there's no objectivity for me and Rocky. It's just like I've never not loved a Rocky. Even the ones that people don't like Rocky 5.
Rocky 5.
It's like I can totally see why people don't like these, and yet I'm watching them going, yeah. Although it actually, like, I expected to really like this one, but it actually was even a little better than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because when I first heard of it, I thought, okay, it's a Rocky spinoff. I'm still down.
Absolutely.
Totally down, because Rocky's still going to be in it, and Apollo Creed's son being the main character is neat. I was really hyped for that, because, like, Rocky's still the main character. Because Rocky is the reason we watch these, obviously, because he's, like, the best character ever. See, no
he's arguably one of the greatest movie characters of all time.
The director, Ryan Coogler.
Yeah, Coogler. I think
he's made 2 movies, and they've both been wonderful. Fruitvale Station was amazing.
Oh, he did.
And Creed is brilliant. So, and I know this shows up more, so I'm going to stop this.
Right on.
Cutting it off here.
Cutting it off. Creed.
Yeah.
My best drama movie of 2015 is a movie called Faults. Faults is directed by a guy named Riley Stearns, and it stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead and an actor named Leland Orser, who not a lot of people know about. I didn't until I watched this movie. Faults is a movie about a girl who has been kind of taken captive by this cult called the Faults. And Leland Orser plays one of the world's foremost experts on mind control. So this girl's parents attend. He's just doing a talk at some hotel or something like that that nobody comes to, and this guy's seen as kind of a joke. the girl's parents go to him and say, our daughter's been taken by these people, by these faults, and we want you to help us deprogram her and bring her back. The majority of the movie is just Leland Orser and Mary Elizabeth Winstead in a room, just talking. It's like a two-person universe movie, and the dialogue, the back and forth between the two of them is just unreal. Like, the dialogue is so good. Riley Stearns is very influenced by Stanley Kubrick. This film kind of felt like a love letter to Kubrick in a lot of ways, right down to the fact that there is a climactic scene in the bathroom, which was a trademark of Kubrick's. And the dramatic elements in this, it leads to a payoff that is fantastic, ends exactly the way that it should. And for those reasons and more, Faults is my favorite drama of 2015. All right, so we're going to move on to the best comedy of 2015, and I'm going to start it off. My best comedy of 2015 was The Night Before. And The Night Before stars Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Anthony Mackie as three friends who always have this Christmas time tradition, despite the fact that Seth Rogen is Jewish. They have this Christmas time tradition of hanging out together and sort of doing a specific set of things on Christmas Eve. They've been doing it ever since Joseph Gordon-Levitt's parents died in a car accident or something like that. And it's basically the story of their last Christmas together doing this. So it's kind of a bit of a coming-of-age movie in a certain light. But these guys just play off of each other so well. I mean, especially Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen. Like, they've done movies together before. They did 50-50, which is one of my favorite movies, probably maybe even of all time. Same director, exactly. So I mean, you
Jonathan Levine, quietly making a great career for himself.
Pretty damn good.
Like he's quietly making a very good career for himself.
Yeah, and this was a year too. Like, I mean, this movie, for being the best comedy of the year, may or may not actually end up on my top 30, because this was a year where there were a number of good comedies, but very few great ones. Seth Rogen's kind of a reminder, Seth Rogen's kind of still on his game, and like Seth Rogen, at a time, Seth Rogen was one of the most bankable leading men in Hollywood, if not the most. And then there was
too much Seth Rogen.
It's true.
But now that we're past having too much Seth Rogen, we can go back to appreciating him for what he does.
For what he does and for how good he can be.
Could anyone else? I mean, I know there's other actors who could probably do it, but could anybody else do it as well? Do his role as well? Like, we watch him. I guess this is a spoiler. Be insanely high, like the whole movie.
Yeah.
And that's actually kind of harder to pull off than one might think. Because you kind of get sick of it. You just kind of be like, yeah, we get it. But with Rogen, it was like, nope, not getting tired of this. Nope. He pulls off being high really well.
He really does.
He might have done some drugs.
He probably did. One last thing that I'll kind of say about Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I don't dislike him in this movie. I feel like he's less suited to the more comedic roles, if that makes any sense. Because this is a role that calls for a little more comedy. And I think he's better suited to a role like he had in 50-50, where he was more... It was more of a dramatic role.
Yeah.
With comedy undertones. And like they played really well off of each other. But I think he's better suited to a role like he had in 50-50 than a role like he had in this one. He's good in this one, but it may just be too that the other two are so funny, especially Rogen, that it's like you're trying to compete with Caesar.
Let's see if we can spin this so maybe you'll like him more.
All right.
To me, he's just meant to be a straight man. I mean, don't get me wrong, he has some funny parts.
Yeah.
But I think they know that, and that's because they know Mackie and Rogen are so good, so funny. That like somebody has to kind of be a little straighter and give the movie, not give the movie heart, because the way they play off each other is
kind of
very organic. Yeah, like I think that was kind of what he was meant to be.
That's fair.
I like your choice. I seriously considered that.
Did you?
Yes, I was. I was on MediaDetour.com. I wrote a thing that was like my anticipated movies of the year, and I put that on there. But the trailer wasn't amazing. I just really liked the cast.
Yeah,
so
fair
I thought
enough.
I'm still excited because so it did actually like surpass what I expected of it, even though I was looking forward to it. But I had to give it to Trainwreck.
Oh, nice.
Mine is Trainwreck because
Trainwreck was on my list for a while.
The Night Before was great, like a great comedy. I really liked it. Trainwreck was just a little bit funnier.
Right.
It kind of worked in blocks though. Like it would be like The Night Before, I would kind of just chuckle throughout. Not as many big laughs, a couple, obviously. There were some
Switch into water, folks.
There were some really good ones. But Trainwreck was like, you could go a little bit of period of time where there wouldn't be really much in the way of laughs, but then they just unload on you. Like the whole John Cena sex scene was like the funniest stuff imaginable.
I tell you,
like, it ranks up there in the greatest of all like comedic parts.
I was so close to giving John Cena a nod in my best actors in 2015.
Like when Trainwreck decides to like put its foot on the gas, it is hilarious. Yeah. The only reason I don't think higher of it, which I do, and I gave like an 8.5. The only reason it doesn't get like a 9 is because it does have those times where it kind of dips down.
Right.
But then it like I said, it works in blocks, and all of a sudden you hit this block where you're just losing it for like 10 minutes. She actually impressed me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quite a bit. And like I don't like her, but she's on that road. Like she was pretty firmly in the like I can tolerate her, but I don't really like her. I'm not seeing what the big deal is. Yeah. But now she's like on that road where it's like she keeps doing this, and I'm gonna be like, Amy, I'm listening, right? Like I'm listening now, but I want to see like what she does next.
Yeah, there's you have my attention, and there's I'm on your team.
Yeah, she has my attention.
You have our attention, Amy. I know that's what you were shooting for.
Yeah.
Our best fantasy and or sci-fi movie of 2015. Tyler, take it away.
All right. Mine is Mad Max Fury Road.
Okay.
It is technically a sci-fi movie.
Oh, God, yeah. Absolutely.
But
post-apocalyptic Australia, apparently.
I know we're not like doing honorable mentions or whatever, but I was leaning on Star Wars because when you think sci-fi, it's like there's no confusion there. It's like Star Wars is sci-fi. So I was leaning Star Wars for a bit, but Mad Max is a superior movie. It's like an hour and a half chase scene. And that's cool.
And that's perfectly
fine. And I'm ready to move on now because I don't want to like
bog it down and just keep talking about it. So I'm going to take a few minutes and talk about Star Wars because Star Wars was mine. Because to me, Star Wars was a superior movie. But I'm a dyed-in-the-wool Star Wars fanboy. Tyler's like a new convert Star Wars fanboy because it's come along more recently.
Yeah, I got tired of telling people I had never watched like a full Star Wars movie, so I just sat down last year and was like, I'm gonna watch Star Wars.
Exactly. So and to his credit, he watched, and I think you watched them all.
Yeah, I watched them all.
In a year without a great fantasy movie. Because we didn't really have one, and it doesn't need to be like Lord of the Rings or anything like that. But we really missed out on a great fantasy movie this year. So it was wide open for sci-fi, for some sci-fi movie to take it this year. And I think it was almost predetermined for me that Star Wars was going to get this. Just like next year, spoilers, it's probably predetermined that Star Trek is going to get this award for me, unless they totally screw it up.
The trailer,
which is possible. The trailer looks interesting.
Movies because I've never seen it.
I don't know. That trailer kind of scares me, but we can talk about that later. I love the characters that they've introduced. I think Rey is going to be one of my favorite characters in the entire Star Wars universe by the end of these movies. Finn was pretty good. They brought back really all the characters of consequence from the original trilogy who you could still possibly
bring back.
Even the helmet of Darth Vader. But for me, my best sci-fi movie of the year is fantasy/sci-fi, Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
I had never seen a Star Wars in the theater, right?
Right, so this is your first theatrical Star Wars experience.
So I just want to speak of like the experience of Star Wars. There is nothing like it. Like, I mean, I'm like, in terms of favorite series,
Mm-hmm.
I think Star Wars is in my like favorite series because I did really like them.
Yeah.
Especially like the original trilogy. But I'm even less harsh on like Revenge of the Sith, which I actually really enjoyed.
Me too. Revenge of the Sith is a great Star Wars.
Like Phantom Menace is meh. And then
Yeah.
this, I can't remember what the second one's called.
Attack of the Crap.
And that, as much as I like Rocky, and I'm more pumped for like a Rocky movie, obviously, because that's my shit. But like, there's nothing like Star Wars. Like, you sit down and it's like electric.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about it in the air that you just feel, and it's like as soon as like the Lucas Arts thing comes up, and it's like. Blah,
your whole body tenses.
Yeah.
Because you're like, my body is ready.
And you know everyone's feeling the same way, and there's just something so incredible about the experience.
Mm-hmm. All right, folks, that is going to do it for our favorite genre movies, our best genre movies of 2015, comedy, action, drama, and fantasy and sci-fi. Check us out on the next video. It is just around the bend. We'll see you in a few minutes.